告一个就是有力量的这个宣告，我们一起来宣告好吗？我的岁数越大，
我的岁数越大
as my age advances,
我的力量越大，
我的力量越大
so is my strength.
我手也有力，脚也有力，
手也有力脚也有力
My arms are strong, my legs are strong.
全是耶稣祝福我，
全是耶稣祝福我
It's all the blessings of Jesus in my life.
我血路都通畅啊，身体又硬啊，
血又通畅身体又硬
My blood circulation is smooth and my body is strong and healthy.
全是耶稣祝福我，我眼睛明亮，脸又漂亮，男的要讲我长得帅，
My eyes are bright and sharp and my face is beautiful and handsome.
全是耶稣祝福我，
全是耶稣祝福我
我能吃能睡，真幸福，
I can eat well, I can sleep well. What a blessed life.
全是耶稣祝福我，我们是满蒙主恩，
We are abundantly blessed by the Lord,
深受主爱，
deeply loved by the Lord,
大享祝福，
greatly blessed by the Lord,
得主保守，
得主保守
greatly protected by the Lord.
我是满蒙主恩。sorry， 我是得天独厚，满受恩宠。
Something like that. I am specially favored by the Lord and very, very loved by the Lord.
我们就是神所爱的，对吗？所以是每次我们都是在高山低谷，我们都是主耶稣的宝贝。
Amen.
请教，来信要说请教，
来信要说请教。
请教。Good morning, good morning. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Up the mountains, down the valley, Jerusalem is my home. Home, 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 sweet home. Jerusalem is my home. Home, 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 sweet home. Jerusalem is my home. Sweet home. Thank you. Take some like few dollars in your pocket if you do not want to take the whole thing. Whatever you leave in the car, it's okay, it's safe. Don't forget our whispers. Okay. Eastern gate, right? Facing east. This is why Eastern gate. I'll talk later because it's a lot of traffic here. Russian. Are you all okay? Slowly.
Mount of Olives
ביום ראשון זה יותר ארוך? היום. לא, יום ראשון זה יותר ארוך. אני יודע. Garden of God, we know the word Gethsemane, we know what it means. Remember? The place where you take the olives and you crush them and press them into oil. The garden was much bigger than you can imagine, by far bigger. Today this is here, the other side of the road, there was no church at the time. Meaning this whole area was a big camping area. Come for the pilgrimage to the very good, to the temple. Under Roman law, they were not allowed to stay the night inside the city. First of all, there was no room. Second, they were not allowed. Why? The Romans want to prevent the explosion of the city. And therefore they said you can camp out. You can camp out. So most people maybe could not afford to pay for a lodging. They could camp out in a place like this. Quite comfortable. See how close we are to the area of the temple. To the temple. Therefore, camping outside that temple mount. By the way, the Eastern Gate, there are churches in the Eastern Gate. They are all when. When was it closed? We are not sure exactly what time. But we know that in the early Muslim times, and they closed it because they, in a way, are saying we are now in control, and we are going to play the game the way we want. Also, they built a cemetery. If you look carefully, during the time of Jesus, that gate was open, but the high priest was allowed to walk out. Not everybody. High priest and maybe another one. There was a wooden bridge, over the valley, and the high priest would go halfway up to the mountain, and he would spread the ashes of the red heifer, and then he would probably send somebody to the top of the mountain. Why? Because somebody has to tell the rest of the people in this country, the Jewish people, when is the official start of the month. If you light a torch on that mountain, they will see it on the other mountain. Then they see it on the other mountain. Then they see it on the other mountain, etc. According to the Jewish study, within 6 hours, the people of Damascus, the Jews of Damascus, knew exactly that it's officially the start of the new Jewish month. Now bear in mind one thing, we follow the moon. Our calendar is follow the lunar, like the Muslims. But we are different. In what way? If you only follow the lunar calendar, you have a problem. The year is shorter. The year is shorter, about 11 to 10 days per year. So you need to balance it. How do you balance? Every 4 years, we have a leap year. What does it mean, leap year? Leap year, that the year we add another month. So every 4 years, we add one more month. The Muslims don't do that. And because they don't do it, their feast of Ramadan can happen year-round. Ramadan can be in the summer, in the winter, in the fall, doesn't matter. The Jewish holidays are always in the same season. Now think about Jesus and his people. He come to Jerusalem. Remember, he made preparation to celebrate Passover because Passover is a duty. He has to. It is not an option. The Passover meal is not about food. The Passover meal is about something very different. We will go to the upper room and I'll share with you, but I want to tell you ahead of time. The Passover is not about the food. How do you pass tradition? Tell the story. Tell the story of Exodus to your son, so he can tell it to his son. So he can tell it to his, etc., etc., etc. Jesus being like a father to them, not only a rabbi, he was like a father to them. It was his duty to celebrate the Passover. So he celebrated the Passover up on Mount Zion. But remember, he was not allowed to stay within the city. So what will he do? He will come. And in this place, he is asking his disciples, can't you stay with me one more hour? And they could not. Why couldn't they? Besides of the meal, we have to drink 4 cups of wine. Now what will happen to you after you drink the second cup of wine? Sleepy. That's what happened to me every year. I'm flat on the sofa. And this is what the Bible tells us. He went as far as a stone's throw, and he was in agony. He knew what will happen to him. Because the betrayal also took place here. So remember, that is the place where they come, where they came for the night. This is the place where he will come back. We will come after we celebrated the Passover at Mount Zion. And this will be the place of his agony and the place of the betrayal. Later on, after Jesus' time, a generation later, when the Romans are conquering Jerusalem and they are burning the walls, burning, the limestone absorbs oxygen. And if it absorbs oxygen, it can burn. According to the famous Jewish historian Flavius Josephus, I mention his name all the time, the Romans burned the city. How do you burn? You need wood. Where do you get the wood from? Right here. They chop the trees into small pieces. They will stick them among and they set fire. And therefore the tree that you see especially this one. It is the oldest tree in the country, but it is not as old as Jesus' time, because probably what we see is the tree, it's the shoot up, it's the sprout of the original tree. This tree is over 1,800 years old. It's the oldest olive tree in the whole country, and it still bear fruit. People still bear fruit. Why the garden is called the Garden of Gethsemane? But the church, look at me, the church is called the Church of Agony. The church has another name. It's called the Church of All Nations. Why all nations? Because 16 countries, 1/6, had given the money to build this church, including the US, Portugal, Spain, France, Ireland. Look up to the first dome and you will see the emblem, the American emblem, meaning the bald eagle. I would like to give you time before other groups are coming. You can go all the way to the front of the church and you will see the rock where he was in agony. He was sweating blood. So remember, he will come to this place after he celebrates the Passover on the top of the mountain that I will take you on Monday. But from here, from this place, they will take him to face the Jewish court. They will take him, forced him to go to face the Jewish court, the Sanhedrin, in the house of Caiaphas, the high priest.
Agony, this pain, is what the Father appreciates. He sees it, he experiences the first. So he comes down for the will of the Father, ultimately, as a beloved Son. He has to save the world, but also to do the will of God, because he's a beloved Son of God. He wants to do the Father's will. So the first press is unto his Father. It's fresh. Moshe was sharing, right? During the day of Passover, right? The man drinks 4 cups of wine, right? Once they fell asleep, right? John, Peter, James fell asleep, right? 4 cups of wine. What does 4 mean? What does 4 mean? 4 means 4 corners of the world, 4 seas, 4 ends. It refers to the world. So the world can only take 4 cups. Human beings can only take 4 cups. But here, what does Jesus say? He says, Father, if you are willing, let this cup pass away from me. But not my will, but your will be done. So here, literally, of course, I don't believe that there's a real cup, but typologically, he takes the 5th cup. The 5th cup. So he's the only human being, and 5 is cup grace. And he takes in the cup of agony, the cup of suffering, the 5th cup, and extends out his grace towards us. Amazing? The other thought I have, which was not shared, this place was where the betrayal happened, right? And then what happens? Peter took the sword. There were soldiers, right? And who watched the movie I sent yesterday? Nobody, right? Only I watched before. But I watched yesterday. So I remember the scene whereby it was mass. Jesus says, I am. The soldiers came. There was scuffle. Peter took the sword, cut off someone's ear. Who was it? Malchus. And then Jesus, in this garden, over here. Right? When we talk about what is God's story, what is your story in this world? What is your story? And I think it's interesting, yesterday we were having that conversation with the manager of Sarel in the South region. You know, this mobile that they have. Then he's talking about how he heard God's voice to tell him to come. But I think in this garden, the story of Malchus reminds us, if there's anyone who feel that, hey, God, I'm not hearing you. I have this situation in my life, but I don't seem to be hearing you. You know what? I believe the fresh word here, today here, is that the Lord is restoring your hearing. The sheep hears the shepherd's voice. I believe that here at this place, He will speak to you. Amen? So enjoy the rest of the time.
remember 16 different countries gave money to build this church.
October, November. Where is anyone?